You ready to start?
Yep. Eternal love.
So, the constellation Al-Sufian. One, oh, you who believe, let it be said, Al-Sufian. The heavens, plural, and the 12th name of Allah, the one, the absolute Almighty.
Almighty baby.
The cause and body of the great speckled serpent. Six, the image of great warriors and signs of history. Seven, the most beautiful ceiling, which no man had better, nor even can. When you look up at the sky and you look up and you see no top, no end in sight. He's this beautiful ceiling that he's speaking about. And we know man can't better that.
That's what it said. No man.
We know man, no woman can touch that or better that or even the thought of.
And this reality is sealed.
Yeah.
And now the script is telling us from the words of wisdom that no man put this there.
No man did.
So all men and women should reflect on the existence in the world we in. We in the creator.
I don't even think man or woman take the clouds even serious just to see that above floating around. How precious that is. How beautiful that is. But you think the only beauty you see is that what you look in the mirror and call yourself beauty. And it's so beautiful when you walk outside at night. It really is to me. And you see the stars. How beautiful that is at night when you look up and see all this beautiful, magnificent. And yet, man has nothing to do with it. That ought to tell you just how beautiful creation is. And we should be forever grateful to be part of it and to be able to even exist thereof. We should forever grateful.
People acting like they greater than this red.
Yeah.
They greater than the stars in heaven. And this is where people on earth want to die and go. I wonder, do we give ourselves a time to think that or to because you're taking flesh to heaven. And so a busy body is a busy flesh. So we might understand why is that symbolically they're representing some reality.
Yeah.
And this is the reality that we need to adjust and understand. This is something beautiful here.
Yeah.
There's a creator that exists. The divine creator. Only one.
Okay. Eight. The magnificent of constellations en roof of heaven challenge every man and woman to see with their own eyes the power and majesty of Allah. So when you look up and you see the cloud, the sun, the moon, and at night you see the stars, you see something else up there, but you can't see it when it's daytime. But it's present. But only at a certain time is be revealed. So that ought to tell you something right there. And you don't have anything to do with it. You look busybody and busy bee. Nothing to do with it. And yet, you are so disrespectful to the divine creator. So it's time for some rain checking going on. Some reevaluation going on.
Yes, and when we're talking about magnificence, that's not a small word.
Here's so enough.
That's giving a description of something big and fast.
Big and bad.
And we'll be like, why is the importance of me understanding the magnificence of the stars?
Yeah. Another thing sweet about it, when you look up, you see no walls. And if you observe from the beginning of time, there was no wall, but the mountain. The wall, the mountain. The wall of the mountain. If you needed a wall, you go down in the back. And on both sides, there's a wall. A divine wall. Not the one that man builds that want to trap everybody and close everything off.
As I have on the screen, the word magnificence. And as we can see, the word our creator has placed these constellations there. Not only for life, but also out of his great mindedness. The great mindedness of the constellations. And it also shows, if we, let me bring us back to number 8. After the constellations, it says angry. So the roof of not a house, it says the roof of heaven.
Yeah.
So if we can see the roof or the stars, that means we looking at the roof of heaven.
That's correct.
So
oh my goodness. Somewhere standing on the ground looking up.
you must be in heaven to be able to look at heaven.
That makes sense to me.
You must be in heaven.
That makes sense to me.
To look up around
See him.
in heaven.
Even the night heaven, he said.
And so that means if it has a roof, then heaven has a mountain.
Yep.
Walk with us. KOS.
Yeah, baby.
So if the ground exists, then the roof exists. And the roof exists.
Yeah.
So the roof of heaven. So we have been told to hate this world.
Yeah.
Now this is done through certain false scriptures that tells you to hate the world. Now, isn't that a black eye?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, that's a mental black eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell you the creator.
Yeah.
That's a form of saying hate the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Hate the world.
Yeah.
You didn't create it. He didn't create it. That told you to hate
Yeah. But see, it's easy to hate.
it.
See.
So when we're talking about all this that we look into at this world that is observable is from a great mind.
Yeah.
And this great mind created you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can understand this great mind, then that will be the same in you.
Oh, my. Look at him.
We need to look up to see our higher self.
Oh.
We must understand we have the higher self to bring us to the heaven.
Mm-hmm.
The lower self can't go to the higher realms.
Mm-hmm.
So we must bear witness that the higher realms exist. How would you know if you didn't see it?
Thank you.
You know man and woman exist because you see them.
Mm-hmm.
You know things exist that man and woman create.
Mm-hmm.
But what about what the creator created?
Mm-hmm.
Can we see that with our own eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, now this is something majestic. To be able to see the creator with your own eyes.
That's what it says in 8.
Ooh. That means truth exists.
Yeah.
Now are self going to deny it?
Yeah.
Because you see the celestial atmosphere.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
And then yes, you see the celestial bodies.
Yeah.
They can only live in a celestial atmosphere.
Right on. Yeah.
So as we saying, the power, this is all to the great creator,
Mm-hmm.
the divine creator, the majesty of Allah, the great mindedness.
Yeah.
And then let's look at majesty.
Yeah.
Because these are big words right here.
Big words. Oh, we talking about sweet around the roses.
They call some men on earth who play this role,
yeah,
your majesty.
Yeah, your majesty.
Okay.
And that's referring to them old big time kings sitting up on the throne, playing God.
That's what the Sufian
said. Almighty.
They playing gods of mad.
Yeah.
That's
of the mad world.
So that's majesty was used in the status.
Mm-hmm.
Say one of high rank.
Yeah.
So let's dive in majesty, which is requiring majesty of the creator.
Yeah.
Who is have you heard of the 3 wise men?
Yes, I have.
Well, they was considered the 3 magi.
Mm-hmm.
So the magi carry the majesty.
Yeah.
Majesty.
Yes, sir.
And the majesty says it's greatness, going with magnificence.
Mm-hmm.
So we know magnificence is the greatness of mind, and majesty is the greatness of mind being used, bringing grandeur character, imposing loftiness, qualities appropriate to the creator. Great excellence. And then this is in reference to God or Christ.
Majesty.
As a title of address or dignity to kings and queens. Late 14th century. See, this is where things are going haywire.
Yeah.
See, we have pre-existing
holy
scriptures that existed before 14th century.
Yeah, that's right.
Before 16th century.
Yeah.
So these dignified kings and queens ain't talking this knowledge of Allah.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they get all their power from. Back over here.
I don't know what could be on people's mind, but when you look up and you see the clouds, and you look up, you see the sun, and you ain't have nothing to do with this. Many places up there, and then the sweet part about it is it's always consistent. Never always on time.
Always
That
consistent.
don't get your mind.
And then they
That
tell
don't
you,
get the attention of your mind when you ain't on time.
mm-hmm,
It is.
mm-hmm. That's why we have to be careful not to be taking L's, because too many L's stop you from looking at the greater.
That's right.
The greater is your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been indicated through scriptures, through men
And
labeling forms outside of themselves, such as God, Christ, devil. These forms men have created and put outside of themselves have now turned into in consistent order.
Consistent, I said. And persistent.
Yes.
Not only consistent, but persistent.
It perseveres through the opinions of mortals.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna say that again. It perseveres through the opinions of mortals.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that our Creator creates cannot be uncreated. It says once it's created in the mind. Mm-hmm. This is a heavenly speech right here. Let's say now men of religions have now taken the labels of your mind and have labeled it something outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. They have taken your body and now labeled it outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. So now you want to look at your mind, now they call that God. Mm-hmm. So man have no profoundness to know that he's looking at himself in the mirror. Yeah. So through that word, they was able to take away from your highest being and begin to now have you look outside of your own self for that which is higher. Yeah. And this was not the grand teachings of the wisdom from the ancients. Mm-hmm. The temples of Egypt or Kemet, for quick word's sake, was know thyself. This has nothing to do with anything else. Once we know ourselves, we'll know the Creator, not creation. We ain't talking about creation. Mm-hmm. You'll know the Creator. Mm-hmm. Every man before and woman before they go, they must learn the qualities of the Creator. Mm-hmm. What is of the Creator and what is not of the Creator. Right on. Right on. The Creator and the created is not the same. No, it's not. And this is what we have to come to, especially into the Black community. Mm-hmm. Given we've been labelized with different names, now we throwing all names out with the bathwater. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When those who started mistranslating already knew what name pre-existed all names. And so as we bring the oldest text to resurface, dealing with the matters of currently of today, we have it present. And as we see, the majesty of Allah, all law. Yeah. This is the dignity of the one. It was a saying that the all is all and the all is one. Right on. And that all is an abbreviation for all law. Right on. This is what we have to understand, where everything exists in. We're not existing outside of the universe. Mm-hmm. We are inside of a world. That's right. That functions on its own self. That's right. It don't need to generate how the below earthly humans generate.
Right on.
It sustains all beings.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it does.
We are in one living being.
Mm-hmm.
This is our creator.
Mm-hmm.
This is why the creator knows everything that is going on. Because we living in the creator. Mm-hmm. Don't you know what's going on in your body when you paying attention?
That's right.
You know when something up, when something down.
Right on.
You know when it's moving left, it's moving right. You know when you should be balanced, when you're off balance. Mm. And so we know when we feel off balance, we bring ourselves back to balance physically. Right on. So the creator understands and knows all because we are inside of the creator. Yeah. We have to understand this metaphysics, that the things you see are the manifestations, just like the things you see are the manifestations of your mind. Then you had to think that thought for it to exist in your house.
That's right.
So exactly the opposite for greater, what is called metaphysics. You have to think a thought for you to exist. Mm-hmm. If you did not exist, could you think a thought? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Take yourself back when you were asleep. Mm-mm. Was you asleep thinking thoughts?
No, you wasn't.
So that shows that's the two realities that religion has covered. Mm-hmm. And have filled our minds with dogma instead of knowledge of self. Yeah. So now our mind, we don't know what that is. Yeah. The devil, we don't know what that is. Yeah. But these two things coincide with knowledge of self. Mm-hmm. God is an identifier for your mind. The devil is an identifier for your body, the flesh. Yeah. Now, when you go into the religion descriptions of God and devil, God represents the light. So the light is still equivalent to your mind, while the devil represents the darkness, while that is equivalent to your flesh. Yeah. Now, the light, what you have to understand is the consubstantiality of the soul and matter. Soul is matter, but you don't understand this matter because it's of an ultraviolet frequency that's above visible spectrum. Visible spectrum is only 7. Everything else above and below you cannot see. It's called unseen. Yeah. So the greater parts of existence is not in purview. When you look up to the celestial, that is still in manifestation. Yeah. Allah says his greatness is in the unmanifest, the things you can't see.
Mm-hmm. And we do know there's certain things you not see. For an example, the wind. Look at that, just shake the trees, can't see nothing. Number 5 says, 4 said, the magnificent and glory of the night heaven when you're looking upward. And 5 said, the clouds and body of the great speckled serpent. Now, when you look at the word serpent, can you look up and do you see a great snake crawling around up there? Another word for serpent is wisdom. Remember what Jesus said when he said, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So when you see clouds above and the speckled serpent, you look at that wisdom itself. The great wisdom, because that is to disappear and won't be around tomorrow, or you might not never see it again. But it's not like that. You constantly stand on them.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about the magnificent here. And you can tell just as good. That's why when man first came on the scene, he had the truth, because it was a gift from the divine creator to give it to him. So he wouldn't wander away and get lost. But if it's not the origin and the truth, then anything wrote after that is going to be contrary. And this is why we have the mess we have today, is because all translation and the writing going on, that it got all the people all messed up and shook up. Because a lot of this being written ain't the absolute truth. That's what I'm getting to. And we know what Jesus said. Jesus said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And that's the only thing will make you free. And you can tell just as good when one think he have it and when he don't have it. Because the expression would be right from the tree itself, or right from the body itself. Or you will see his light, this light that Jesus was talking about, letting your light so shine. This is the truth he's talking about. That they may see your good works. That's what he said. And glorify your Father which is in heaven. They said what? In the glory. Oh yeah. Oh, the magnificent and the glory that you look at, behold.
And so, who all said that cosmology is not a part of Islam, never had the Al-Sufian Islam.
That's right. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just that what you said.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because you don't have it.
That's right.
It wouldn't matter if you have to understand. The older you are, the more you've been lied to. Mm-hmm. The younger you are, you got freshness of truth.
That's right.
It's harder to lie to you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to understanding, older people, they don't do no research on nothing.
No, they don't.
They just follow along with the crowd.
That's correct.
So a lot of people have been following on the crowd, not researching the text they dedicating their life to and what they dying under the name of. So a lot of this is a indication of that we don't have a one way, because there are many thought methodologies going around now contaminated by religion. You got over 3,000 denominations of Christianity. You have now sectarianism going on in the false Islam. Because those are based on premises that no one ever put together. So if you drinking from a poison well, you're going to be poisoned.
That's what I'm talking about.
So if all your literature is poison well, meaning now your mind is poison. And so now you can never get to your greatest by being limited. The limited knowledge that is going inside the populist mind has been poisoned water. And they have no clue what really is. We just know the words of. But these things of actuality, how do we know? We know that this exists. This is where we have stumbling blocks. We should all be able to answer, what is life? Where does life come from?
Yeah.
These are the things that are bound in these texts called religion's doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
But those who are not studying them cannot bring out the greatness through the deception. It's literally here to bring you to certain levels, but it's also here to show you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that if you never known, then all will be unknown. If one thinks he knows, he will never go after what he knows. This is the place that we are in. Our people know so greatly that we think we know.
Yeah.
And your reality is, you know you don't know. So why is this energy propelling itself out and getting greater and greater?
Pretending.
We have to understand how it works. Just like it's something called in life called you get hungry. That is a effect from something that begins way before you even had the idea that that means that you're hungry. You hear animals when you get close to their food growl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. You hear animals get close to their food growl.
Sure will.
Now, when you hear your stomach growl, why we never take that into account before it was said? See, just because I say it to you don't mean you know it. You got to know it before I'm saying to you, because that show a perplexity of contemplative thought. If you think you know it because I just said it to you, you got to be able to produce these thoughts instantly on your own to be able to reach your greatest self. You have to juke and spin out of your own misery, because that misery is the growl. Why does your stomach growl? That's in an animal.
Yeah.
You hear an animal stomach growling.
Yeah.
They growl.
Yeah.
But when you speak, you don't growl.
How about that?
See, because this is the understanding of life and death. You are composite, strangely mixed. And if you don't understand the teachings of why wisdom is present, then that same hunger that you ate with is gonna eat you.
Yeah.
This is called nighttime. When do you go to sleep? Night.
99.
So when you are going to sleep, that is called you have been eaten. You have ate. And this is science that was left by ancestors of Kemet and Egypt as the greatest wisdom. Our people of times was not into materialism.
Sure wasn't. Sure wasn't.
Their ism was wisdom.
Right on.
And that wisdom was knowing life after death. So our ancestors who was wise already mapped out death and mapped out life and gave us the blueprint. And our blueprint was hijacked and stolen by the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. And this is why these two books got the word holy on them.
Right on.
How can anything holy have death, destruction
In it.
and evil?
Right on. Right on.
Wisdom has nothing to do with destruction. This is what wisdom is not. So as most are confused, because it says different things and different concepts and different. So who knows what book someone is thinking about?
Yeah.
When they speaking.
Yeah.
And so these things don't ever unite to a oneness. They unite into a diffusion of division. Hence the denominations. So now it's the creator and its creation, but now they're never one and the same.
Right on.
Every creature that was created by the Creator is one with the Creator. They don't act to be nothing else than what they designed to be. The tree ain't gonna never not be a tree as long as you seen it. When you see a tree walking, then a tree is no longer a tree. If we ain't seen it, what Allah has made, it is itself. It is. And it would be that way to Allah say it's appointed time. So we must be the same way. And that's why interception have been thrown at us. And now we must understand that we got to understand life and death from the Creator's perspective. Yeah. This is where no death is. But when we are underneath the Creator, we are creation. And you have the ability, not as an animal, to transcend your growl, to transcend your deepest hunger, to transcend your deepest unconsciousness. So as you see, what pulls the soul into sleep, that is a force. Let's pay attention. Y'all think gravity real. You throw something up, it come down. Well, let me tell you, you throw something in unconsciousness, it goes to sleep. Check the measure of reality. Your life is your reality. What pulls your soul into sleep? You awake right now. Yeah. Why are you at certain time going to be pulled into sleep? That's to show you that there's a force greater than gravity. Right on. That deals with the laws of the soul. And this is what comes with lack of understanding. This is what they call Satan or Baal. The deepest darkness that is the opposite of the true transcendent light. That's why the sun don't come out at night. These are realities. It lives a separate reality. Hey, what you say? Beautiful. Beautiful. Can I something you pointed out when you was mentioning about both books, the Bible and the Holy Quran. The Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. And when you think about all the mischief that's going on, for example, one book, it states that Jesus Christ died on the cross. It's the Bible, Holy Bible talking now. The Holy Quran, it says something different. It's a fact. It said that I died on no cross. Said it appeared. That's what I read in there. If I read the Quran, you know what I'm talking about. So my question is, who's right and who's wrong? If not, it's wrong. Now, this is where we better become conscious, just like what you were saying. So when you unconscious, what I'm getting at, it's like throwing up a rock, and it comes right down. Unconscious. The devil is going to get you. Because now you don't know what's up and what's down and what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. I got Surah right here. Al-Nisa. Would you please on Nisa. How the Quran speaks, Ayat 4. Surah 157. And for boasting, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary. the messenger of Allah. But they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so.
Oh.
Even those who argue for this crucifixion are in doubt.
Ooh.
They have no knowledge whatsoever, only making assumptions. Last sentence. They certainly did not kill him.
See, it says certainly they did not
Kill him.
Now watch this right. In so many days, and he gonna rise up out the earth. Every man I know that died has a body, and you can find his body, or they buried him in a certain area. In the case with Jesus Christ, no bones to be found, no body to be. So it's something spooky wooky going on, what I'm trying to say. Body, no bone. Do you know anybody that has died, the body out there in the ground, or you can go in the area and find it, or they'll break the body and dig him back up, and the body be in the casket? Everything is a little mystery, because when you look at even the birth of Jesus, where Mary said, I ain't touched no man. But yet she having anything to do with woman. Touch it. Y'all gotta get intertwined. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right. Reality.
Come on, we talking about now. We talking about spooky wooky. Now we talking about reality. Just like the talking horse and the talking donkey. See. I'm just pointing some things out. How we done swallowed the hook, line, and sinker, and somebody went fishing on it and bait us.
That's what, the gift is to the old, to try to help them understand that, because y'all have swallowed that line, hook, and sinker.
We have.
It's deep embedded in y'all mind. So only thing you can do is evaluate truth. And so you got to know for yourself that you didn't exist in them times.
That's right.
So don't confuse yourself as you did. So don't just give yourself all up to something that you didn't even exist in. At the time, you exist now. So now you have the time to, if you want to fully give yourself up to that, really find out how everything was put together. Because that story just didn't fly out the clouds into your mind.
No.
As a full story. You pick that up from somewhere.
That's right.
So you have to understand reality is that just didn't fall out the sky. Someone orchestrated a very great story. And if you don't know how that story was, you're going to be in the mystery. And to be in the mystery is to be in the unconsciousness. So this is where most people are going. They have not solved the mystery on earth yet. And so these stories are inclinations of how you should understand your life, but we have turned it into outside worship and ancestral reverence. Now and so these things are forbidden in the name of Allah. So these things are for people who really don't want to actually learn the truth and then actually stick with the truth. Then I advise you not to play with the dead. Leave the Bible out as it is. If you're not fully invested in it, leave the Bible as it is. Leave the Quran. I'm saying that because I have authority to. I've been given the revelation, and I'm bringing forth the revelation. All truth must come forth.
That's right.
All lies, if you got them in your mind, you got to deal with them. If you got them in your soul, you got to cleanse it.
Yeah.
This is your time while you're still alive. Don't ignore the great message. The great message is purify yourself before death. So you can understand the only way to purify yourself is to have truth. Without truth, you are unconscious. This is what the opposite of truth is. This is why he's saying, if you don't have the truth, then you shall be unconscious. Only the people who will be free from unconsciousness. This is the light and the dark, or the day and the night. All our divine beings, if you believe in them or not, they live in the sun. They not in nighttime. They in the daytime. Everyone else that wasn't divine, they in the nighttime. This is how life is designed. If you pay attention to it. That's why I'm telling you, if you pay attention to your life, when you awake, it's daytime. That's light. When you go to sleep, that's nighttime. And when you the opposite of awake, conscious. And understand that you can be unconscious while awake. This is the gift that we have to understand, why you are strangely mixed with night and day. Which one are you going to be? And so we have to understand the teachings accurately. And it said in Revelations that a book shall be revealed, and it shall be a book. But did our people forget, or did the church pastor not keep that revelation in prophecy? That all our people that in this time, they were going to see a new book revealed. The Quran wasn't in their time. They're going to see a new book revealed, revealing all truths to all stories that's in the Bible and the Quran. Elijah Muhammad told you, one is going to come that's going to bring you the book. The book of all books. But we ain't studying, we ain't referencing, we ain't keeping these in our mind. So that's why I tell you, if you're not really on that life, don't play with it. You mocking the dead. Don't use Jesus' name. You mocking the dead. Don't use any prophet name. You mocking the dead. If you're not really living this life and you're not willing to change your life into a greater purity, don't use people's names in vain. That's mocking the dead. You don't know who these people are. You is not devout in your way. So please be honest with yourself that you will do your best just to live your life in a good and holy life without disrespecting the character of other characters who came and brought forth. Where people are in cahoots with that. And so we have to understand, people have incarnated that is beyond your mind capability, that you think that did not exist. These people existed just like you think technologies existed. This is where the real deal come from. This is why we're still able to uphold Islam, because some divine being manifested. And now we have the proper Islam, which is Sufi Islam. The Al-Sufian is the revealed word. This is the revealed book of our time that predates and pre-exists all other literatures we have been associating with. The Tanakh, the Torah. This includes the Torah. The Mishnah, the Septuagint, all these books, all the Geneva, the Catholic Bible, KJV, all the way to Mulani Ali, all these translations, all these books that came forth, the Holy Megillah, the Owaspi, all these texts that have came forth, the Book of the Mormon, of the Latter saints, all these books that came forth, have you invested time and authority on mocking the dead? So you have to understand where these researching and where these scholars are getting these books from.
Right on.
Where are they constructed? They don't fall like no sky.
Nope.
And so now we have for all our people, especially that was told that was coming. And now it's here, and all we have to do is stand near. And we getting the understanding now why we also had the cosmology of what they call astrology. When they watered down cosmology, they to astrology. And so astrology has to deal with the constellations. So the constellations is considered the roof of heaven. In order to get from the roof to the ground, you had to be or born or flung or ejected. So the understanding of why black folks never studied astrology, but they know they sign, is why Islam is in your DNA. That is a part of Islam on the cosmology, because the theology of time that Elijah Muhammad is bringing forth is the time and the knowledge of the constellations. Before there was a constellation or a universe, Allah existed in the darkness. This is what it said in the theology of time. In the black of cosmic dark space, before a shape or form, a dimension or figure was known. This is talking about 6 trillion years. Now we got the proper knowledge for trillion years. For us to get to this point, 144 pre-existing years, trillion years existed for us to get to this moment right here. So everything is moving forward. So we must keep going forward. And so understanding that everything has its place and everything has its time, and the people who did, they have done what they did. Now it's our time. And now we have the revealed word of our time. And now it's time to do the do. Oh, yeah.
Super 13, the constellation. Next one is Super 12, the world.
Super 12, the world, Albanian. Oh, you who believe, let it be said tonight, the unique, all knowing. All the mountains and rivers, all the valleys and forests, all the great seas and all the sand and storms, and the clouds, the wind, and the fire. Allah is the word, and all within the world is part of Allah. Thus, to honor the world is to honor Allah. To know the world is to know better the message of Allah. Those who seek to turn their backs to the world do turn their back against Allah. Those who seek to turn their back to the world do turn their back against Allah. The world is not evil, nor are people evil. The world is not evil, nor are people evil. Therefore, do not turn your back against the world.
And we need such a wisdom in moments like these where they so-called holy wars.
Yeah.
Now, how can religious men say they worship the Creator and causing holy wars?
That's right.
they causing a war in the name of holiness.
Yeah.
When holiness would never war.
That's right. That's right.
Everything is too sacred.
Yeah. That's right.
So now we find law calls earth.
Yeah.
He don't cause it earth.
Yeah.
That's what men calls it.
Yeah.
He calls it Al-Dunya.
Yeah.
The world. This is a world for Allah. Men call it earth. This is Allah's world.
Yeah.
Don't we see everything that we just named? The mountains?
Yeah, we bear witness to the mountains, the rivers, the valleys, the forests,
Yeah.
the rainforest,
Hey,
the Amazon forest,
right.
all the great seas.
And great creatures.
And great creatures.
And they saying so, it's saying all.
All as in all.
Right. It's all.
Yeah.
We know we didn't do it or I didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All did it.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that that's why that's considered a false scripture. Because when you come to pre-existing truths,
yeah,
that existed as a truth before that book was put in front of you and said these words, that, thank you, Lord, that you should hate the world.
That's right. That's what it said. Right on.
So does not it teach you to hate the world in the New Testament?
And people too.
So this is why so much confusion is going on. Allah said never that was a way of life for Allah.
Yeah.
Allah said ain't not one soul evil.
That's right. That's what it said.
So where do we get to turn our awareness to the hate of the world?
Yeah.
That every act that's being done is a hate act. This is where we have to understand why people's minds, which they go into the grave with, is contaminated by these ideologies and these beliefs that they have heard repeatedly over and over. For I gave the world, for I gave myself, and the world gave me not. For I hated the world, so the world hated me. So many words consisting of hate when Allah is love. So when we speaking about what we read here versus what was written later, which one was your heart? Because you got to live one of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what reality is, that you got to be real.
Yeah.
So you got to be real by what? Living. Now, what way you going to live?
Now, you can see the evil men that call themselves running their country. You can see all the evil ways, the evil actions, because what we just read about the world who honor. If you honor the world, you're going to honor other peoples as well, no matter where they may be. Listen, everybody can't live in North America. Ain't enough room. If all the people were trying to live in North America and nowhere else. And there's a reason for this. This is why people are all over the world. But what now made everybody sick and sick in the head right now? They say the only life is important in the world today is American life and an Israel life. You notice if somebody get killed in America, they say, oh, boy, we going to get her. I always say 2 Americans was killed last week. They say 3 Americans killed. Now they got an alibi, and now they went and bombed about 20 different places just cause 3 Americans was killed. You see the alibi? All they have is murder and killing on their mind. And ain't nobody that's in USA saying a hump the dump that set on the anything about it. And now they talking about they passing a bill called Standalone. And this to give Israel and Ukraine more money. Right now. See, this is the kind of madness, sickness going on. And we caught all up. And all these are Bible carriers and Bible told us is doing all this, by the way.
I bring it even more simpler home because that's religious. These are old men who know better. This is what I mean. We take this too far from reality, like you don't get old and you don't know better.
That's right.
These are old men doing it.
Yeah.
So who gives the right to old men to kill younger people? Just because you going out, that don't mean
and that's what it is.
You take the younger out.
That's right.
Or any form of deception. Because we know when it comes to life, they don't care about life in America. So how would they care about life elsewhere?
Right on. That's right.
They haven't stopped the war here. So how can you stop the war there?
Yeah, that's right.
You ain't dropping missiles and bombs over here. Not in Allah's name, you not.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Our people are dumbfounded. Our God is not their God. And if you keep calling on their God, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. But in the name of Allah, ain't no bombs being dropped on anything. That's how I say men are cowards, and mostly of them that's older. Because you shouldn't have no youth coming into such monstrosity.
That's right.
Done to you by people that is older than you.
That's correct.
And them people letting other people bow down. What you bow down to their feet?
Yeah. Yeah.
We talking about the youth need to see something here. If you feel old and shriveled, say it. So we can know all we want to know is real. So we can put you where you need to be. And we can make sure you safe. But if you're going to stand on the forefront and not be a strong warrior, not be full with love, then we don't need that in the front. We don't need that in the back. We need that safe and sound. So what we need to understand that there's a turn of time right now going on. And that the youth is not standing for the same thing that the old stood for. And we come from the same kind. These people are no longer bullies. These corporations are no longer bullies. These advertisement companies is no longer bullies. We boycott, stop, fast, do anything to show that they don't have no authority over this over here. We don't have SSN checks. We don't have anything else that give us the right to fight for their system. We are told that we ain't gonna have nothing. We ain't gonna see Social Security. We ain't gonna even see none of our parents' accounts. We ain't gonna see none of the money that they ever received. We gotta start from scratch. And that's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. If we don't raise the volition of our own intuition, we can't live off the dead. That's called corporations. Corporations ain't feeding the living nothing. They feed they dead. Here's the young. These are people not corrupted by your falsities and your truth, who live the reality that's in their heart, not persuaded and subjugated by ideological subversions. If your belief is not real, then your belief is not in reality. Just as they believe, we believe. We believe we can stop it. Just they believe they can start it. We believe the Creator is the Almighty and divine and will never do anything harmful and evil. So if anything harmful or evil coming forth, we must stop. Put a cease and desist to all evil action.
Yeah. No.
Other than that, we just preach it.
Yeah.
And that's been done
More money.
millennials to hundreds to centuries. How long have our people been preaching? But we ain't got no savings account. We ain't got no institutions. We ain't got no structures. We ain't got homes. We ain't got anything that we can say is ours. Not our own education, not our own schools, not our own mobiles, not our own transportations, not our own anything. So if this is the condition you leave your young in, what a pitiful condition. So time has to erect itself because we ain't going through that. And so we must rise to the occasion. And that means standing on truth. Truth is the business for the youth. And this is why we need to hear things like the world is not evil.
Yeah.
Is these people creating schools? Is this people creating words? Is this people creating books? These people are spreading the evil. And nobody ain't stopping them. Everybody have the religious freedom to be what they find in religious truth. This is a First Amendment constituted to all. You have the right to search for your life. You don't have to listen to any dogma. You don't have to listen to any belief. You got to listen to wisdom, truth, and proof. And truth is not a document. As the great elder read, truth is what you can see with your eyes. Allah gave you eyes. Allah gave you ears. Allah gave you a soul. These things are real and evident only by yourself, not by ourselves, yourself. You are an individual. You have to individually take yourself out of individual unconsciousness. If not, that's where you will be at. That's what the whole book is talking about, in the shallow grave, the pits of hell. This is not where Allah wants any of his creation to be. And if people are evil, then we know that this ain't so. We know people ain't evil because a child ain't evil. And if a child is not evil, then how can they grow up to be evil? So the teachings have to change. The education have to change. We need an exodus to knowledge of self. We don't have knowledge of everything else. And that's why the Al-Sufian Islam exists, because this is the knowledge of self. Self-knowledge and self-restraint.
I like to say one thing to that. When we first learn how to read or write, we begin seeking knowledge of someone else. We always learning about what somebody else done. For instance, when we hear Bible stories and Bible characters, we learn all about what Moses did, leaving the children out of Egypt, out of bondage, crossing the Red Sea. We learning about what Joshua did, marching to Jericho. We learn about what John the Baptist did. My point is that we so consistent and persistent in learning all about what somebody else has done, and when we look at ourselves, we don't see anything. Or we consider ourselves as nobody, and we can't do what what the great ones that has already came and done. We don't see as though that we can do that or even greater. But when you get the book, these books that now come out and poison your mind. You've been drinking from the well of poison, like you said. Because they, right now, they said every child is born is a sinner.
Right.
This is what they teaching.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And then they said that we, even the babies and the adults, ain't number 50 rags. So how you climb out of this filth?
Through a
In
law.
these lies? How you get out of there? Well, there's a way out called KOS, knowledge is self.
That's everybody way out.
This is your way out.
It's an individual approach.
Individual.
If we don't understand what we just said, a way out.
A way out.
Then if we don't find a way out, that means we stuck in.
Yeah.
And we was already told we were stuck in a burning house.
Yeah. That's what he said. and let me say this. If we know we can't keep going along with the system they have in place right now.
We can't.
Let me say this to everybody. The Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the system that they got set up, ain't no end in sight and the way out. And the reason I say that, if there was a way out, we'd have been out of the mess we've been out right now.
That's right.
How long the party's been around?
That's right.
Why we are not out yet? I'm asking a question. It's a trap.
To keep us away from consciousness.
That's what that is.
They don't want us aware of who we are and our creator.
That's right.
This is why they are never, the people who tax will never tell you about a law. That's what they get for taxing.
Yeah.
The opposite of a law is taxes.
Yeah.
So if you ever forever want to pay taxes, never talk about a law.
Because he don't charge you.
A law ain't charge you for life. So if the tax, remember they told you in the New Testament that your body was bought with a price.
Yep.
Oh, I need to pull it up.
Oh, it's in the New Testament. I remember reading.
Because maybe
I don't know whether it's in the book of Acts. One of them books that's in the New Testament.
Corinthians.
See, you were brought.
Yes, with the prize.
What prize?
Here you go. Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 6:20. For ye are brought with a prize. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So it's texts like this that black folks believe that belongs to them. See, we have to understand, if Europeans did not have Christianity, you see what the Europeans are doing with Christianity.
Yeah. They kill it.
Just imagine without having the Jesus story.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know love could exist.
That's right.
They little glimpse of love
Yeah.
for a European nation.
Yeah.
Is if we don't understand, we have that without that. We don't need to be drugged in the head with the same story.
That's right. That's right.
That is not for us. We love and endure any great novelty. But in the form of what is being given, like that is something that's going to save and bring us salvation. It should be proven by now. That's a 2,000-year-old idea.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it wasn't even.
Mm.
Our people claim a God that is for Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to repeat that again now.
Mm-hmm.
Black people claim a God that is of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say that you ain't for Israel going to Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You are not from the Middle East. You are not, America is not in the Middle East.
That's right.
You do not know what's going on in the Middle East.
Yeah.
You ain't been to a cathedral, a synagogue, a mosque in the Middle East. And you saying that you are the God of Israel.
Yeah.
Listen, that is for European nations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All of that is for European nations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Christianity is for European nations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good part, Christianity is a part of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't feel like no Lone Ranger. All of your religions that you think you following always come from one source. This is why one who came as Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the Western Hemisphere in North America, born in North Carolina,
Born here,
told you what's been hidden. This old time religion, not this new time that came with Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Not them boys, we talking about old time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Them boys.
Old time way.
Mm-hmm.
And now we come to today, we still, Islam is still around.
Mm-hmm.
Just like niggas still around.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get rid of Islam like they can't get rid of niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to understand what's for us and what's not for us.
Mm-hmm.
Our Creator gave us something specific to heal the planet, to heal the world, to heal each other, to make this place a heaven on earth. And we did that already. That's one thing that is confirmed through history, that these ancient niggas called Moors made heaven on earth, so-called a golden age, where there was no evil whatsoever, and that was called Islamism.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have the ancient names provided to us by the book of Revelation. The Al-Sufian. It gives us the whole dynamic of what all was in those books. So as we see on 12, number 8. Now, let's not just jump over that.
That's right. I'm glad you point that out right there.
Is the world. The world you living in is a law.
Not USA or Russia.
There we go.
Let's be crystal clear.
Let's be crystal clear.
Look who proclaiming it now. Look who done took over now. And look at the bomb bombers, the man bomb bombers.
Right.
And all of them carrying a cross and proclaim to be a Christian.
Right. That's why the Sufian is here to give us back our non-European language. We don't call the world earth. See, evil men have taken over that word. We don't call our land America. Evil people done took over that word. We don't call it United States. Every state ain't united. We use the words of Allah, the kalima Allah. And so when we understand this, this is when all will be free. You keep calling where you at after another name and another issue of someone else's forefathers. Georgia is not your forefather. Do you know where that go back to? That go back to the English crown. The English crown is not your father. The English crown is the owner of Christianity. Is the owner of the Magna Carta, the Magna Charta. Is the owner of the Independence Day, the Declaration of Independence. They have funded everything that the United States have done.
Yeah.
Because that's their forefathers and foremothers. And they use the names after their foremothers and forefathers.
Right on, come on with it.
We don't speak English. Black people don't speak English. We speak Moorish.
Right on.
Englishmen speak English.
Right on.
When we understand we not black.
Yeah.
We olive.
Mm-hmm.
They call olive people black.
Yeah, that's right.
They disrespectful in their language.
Yeah.
We are truthful in our language and wise and respectful.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say Georgia, you're not saying ancient grandma of yours. That's not your ancient grandma or granddad. That's not your great granddad.
Right on.
That belongs to the English crown.
Thank you. It's good to point all this out. So we talking about the world. That's
the world.
Yeah.
So we don't call this place America. That's what English people call it. To separate it from British.
Right on.
We call it Marab Dukan. This is what our ancestors called it.
Look at that.
Marab Dukan.
Look at that.
This is the way our ancestors kept everything in their name, in their issues that represented our forefathers and foremothers.
Yeah.
How are we going to switch up like that?
That's right.
That's a disgrace to who we are.
That's right. And if you switching up, you're going to switch out and go wrong when you get to switching about. You finna go wrong. Now, just like where we live today, Lowndes County. See, it changed name. It's been switched. Most everywhere you go on this land, it's been switched and called another name. You take a look at all the states from Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Just keep on naming all the states. Once upon a time, that wasn't their name. The same land wasn't called Georgia and Florida and Mississippi. How did we get here? See, this is what we're going back. This is what we're talking about. We want to address the issues that where we started out and where we're at today. And where we're at today ain't the ancient way. We living lives. Not been told.
And this is why old people are guilty as charged. Because ain't no way the young don't have no connection and no association to their creator. This is why they have debt to pay. But ain't no way that means if someone sold out.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Even a roach is still a roach today.
That's correct.
A roach of the past is still a roach today. You ask a black person, you ask a nigga, no Christian, hey, no, hey. Hey, I don't want no drama. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And let me read something to you.
Yeah.
From the land of America, from the land of Marab Dukan.
Yeah.
7. Therefore, we are prophecy. This is a that is being fulfilled. We are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations.
Did you hear that?
We're going to be handing them
back his lives and his books and his
church,
his language,
and his Christianity. These two go together.
That's right.
Back to the European nation. Now, European nation is not us.
That's correct.
So if we not European, then why are we at a church and under Christianity?
Yeah.
When these are designed for European nations.
Yeah.
Why? It was prepared by their forefathers.
That's correct.
George Washington.
That's right.
In respect. Thomas Jefferson.
That's right.
In respect.
In respect.
Ben Franklin.
Yes,
in respect. I'm not going to downplay as they downplayed our people.
Yeah, put us down.
At least they forefathers established them and they kept it alive.
That's what they doing.
Might be messy now.
Yeah.
But at least they kept it alive.
Yeah.
There was a roach that stayed a roach.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But us, on the other hand, if we are children of the Creator, then we must not ever change from being children of the Creator.
That's the point right there. That's the point.
So we must understand that Christianity and the church was prepared by their forefathers that were just mentioned for what? Their earthly salvation.
Yeah.
Y'all understand, they need the Jesus story, y'all. European nation needs the Jesus story. And if they come to you without the Jesus story, you might not want to do no business with them.
Right on.
Because you ain't dealing with the true form. This is the way of their forefathers. So if they disown these elements, we want to make sure who we paying attention to.
Yeah.
And especially who we doing business with. This is a bond.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Now, and then it say, while we, the Moorish Americans, now we can say, Marab do come. This is the ancient word given to us by the Al-Sufian. By Al-Sufian Islam. Here it comes. While we are, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Are returning to As-Salam.
As-Salam.
This is what is key here. Peace, how he always said peace. That's As-Salam.
Peace be unto you.
As-Salam, Salam is Salam. Which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine. See, we have an earthly and a divine salvation that we both have to tend to. They only got one aspect, which is the earthly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to be love divine.
Yeah.
And we have to purify our body. This is part of our way as I'm moving forward. It tells us the covenant of the great God Allah. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be longer upon the earthland, upon the dunya, which the Lord thy God Allah have given you. Come all ye Sufians of America and hear the truth about your divine birthrights. But learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed. Now, this what was recently revealed. because we have been told that our ancestors' way and creed. And what was revealed that our ancestors' ancient and divine creed is Al-Sufian Islam. Al-Sufian Islam is a divine creed. Word creed.
Divine creed.
Your creed is what you believe in. A creed, as you see on the statement, is an article statement of confession of faith. They always want to take everything.
Yes, indeed.
A statement of belief on any subject. So for us, is the Al-Sufian Islam is our divine creed that has now been revealed in the prophecy that says the time shall be revealed. As it said, come out of her, my people. Come out of Babylon. Speaking at Babel of English.
Yeah.
We ain't doing nothing in it but arguing, causing destruction, and making a little money while we doing it.
Yeah. You know what I observe and observe? Because see, sometimes all you got to do is watch and pay attention. And everybody that I know that proclaim to be a Christian, he will harm you or kill you. A lot of you. And like I said, they all Bible told and Bible carriers. Who you think doing it? Who you think keeping all these wall pushes to Christians? The good guys. The so-called good guys. I'm going to put it that way. Because a good guy don't kill and steal and murder and take people's land and become imperialism and practice imperialism and practice white supremacy. When you said white or black, I read in the Bible where it said you can't change not one string of hair on your head. But yet, you're going out and conquering the world and changing the world and making everybody a USA. You don't do that. And you don't push your way on nobody. You don't do that. Force nothing on nobody. They'll force it on you.
Force it.
Yeah. That's how they made everybody Christian. Before Islam came over here, everybody was one thing. Speak. You spoke one language and you wore one child. That was the Christian. Now you can't call me no lie on that. Because I came up and I learned that. I didn't learn Islam not coming up. And nor was I taught, and they wasn't even teaching that. You wouldn't find that word even in the school. Did you ever see that in the school?
That's why I was trying to tell all people who are listening. I'm well versed. Just listen to me. Islam is not an English word. Allah is not an English word. English don't own Islam. English don't own the law. So why would they give you anything they do not own? They gave you what they do own. And they gave you Jesus. They gave you God. And they gave you the Bible. You don't have a home. You don't have land. You don't have a place to go. You don't have money in your account. You don't have nothing else. No factories, nothing of yours. You got God, Jesus, and the Bible, and the church, holding it all together. And this is what business one-on-one is. These are great business people. Christians are merchants. acting as they are Christians. You name me one Christian that's a merchant. Our whole city is filled with merchants. Do they give you any Christian symbolism? Do they say anything or do anything Christian-like with the utmost dignity?
No, man.
Do they treat the seniors like they are seniors? Or do they treat them like infants? Now, these are people we calling, they take oaths on Christianity or take oaths on Bible or join school systems in the virtues of the principles of the doctrine of Christianity. But somehow, black folks are in poverty, in the worst conditions, in the worst places in the United States, projects, ghettos, slums, getting out the mud. Gotta sell drugs, gotta play sports, gotta do something dirty, ugly, or get bruised up for you to be someone.
Yeah.
All this is going down to black community.
That's right.
And these people were groomed with God, Jesus, the Bible, and the church. And the people who gave them that are superseding them in their own city, in their own land. These are immigrants. Came, gave you what they gave you, and took what you have. And now they having fun on your land while you in pain on your land.
Yeah. That's what's going on.
Now they charging you to move around and to be.
Yeah.
Well, this was never was. This comes from the dirty Moors. The dirty Moors are those who brought forth this over here for all this to come forth. The European dirty Moors. Before Islam came to America, Christianity came. Christianity beat Islam to America.
Yeah.
This is why we didn't know of Islam. We only knew of Christianity. They came to the shores. We was free. Let's put it this way. The people, the inhabitants, and the families on the land of America before 1492 existed was free from Islam and Christianity. We had our own, which was tribalism. And we did not know each other today like we knew each other now. In the past, our families would never get to know each other. So it's a beautiful thing that now black people across their own land are getting to know each other. But now we're doing it under the influence of Christianity, which is not making us one whole family, one whole community, giving us one creator. Now we're divided through egoism, which is now given the gift that you can be saved. That all you need is to call on this name and you can go do all the devilishment. Call on this 2,000-year-old name that ain't the creator, and you can be reprieved and relieved from your sin. And you will be resurrected at death. No matter how evil you are, this is what to believe. No matter how evil you are, you can do the most grotesque action, and you can call on this name and say the sins is removed, and you'll be resurrected to come back to life after you've done the most wicked and most iniquitous acts to exist. So what are we really following? And our people have to know this truth so we can actually get to the tree of life. The word of life is the tree of life. If English was the word of life, then we should be doing great and we should be moving up, as they say.
Yeah. That's right. Moving on up.
But English has been the word of death for us. More people have died than I've known.
That's right.
More people have turned away from the truth than I've known.
Right on.
More people won't even listen to you now because they got Jesus now. They won't even listen to you. Well, that was for the European nation. Yeah. And that was for their earthly salvation. We talking about you got a divine salvation.
Thank you.
Where you can go
Thank you.
from the heavens to eternal existence instead of from heaven to earth. This is our time to be able to go from back from heaven to the eternal existence, everlasting life, like all our great men and women that we cannot even name. There's been so many of them. But one thing we know, they was ancient wise niggas. A nigga is always a nigga, just like a roach is always a roach. So as we understand, these are the things that have to be understood. Everything that we taught had to do with everlasting life. Everlasting life. This is what we was about. And we knew to reach everlasting life, we had to value purity. And purity was the most prime quality of spiritual life. And this is how we achieve everlasting life. How we change the carnal flesh to a higher form by love divine, which is purity all the time. This is where we have to learn from the past by being in the present, taking the time out to study Islam, Salam, Shalom. All these things are in connection to Salam. You attaining the highest peace, peace with Allah, peace with yourself, and peace to all creation. This is a holy and divine day. It's time for us to bring new thoughts down. It is. Not regurgitating the same thoughts that's been in the Bible for millennia.
Yeah. The same poison.
Yes. And so now let's bring new thoughts down as we created new genres.
Yeah. New ideas.
New ideas.
Yeah.
New ways of life.
Yeah.
We are the fun. We don't need to buy anything. Just being around us is fun. We are the living life of creation, the personality of life.
You know, I would just like to say, all these policies that the entrapment that the USA done drawn up, it keeps us a slavery, a slave, brother, y'all know now. It keeps us in the shadows of darkness. Remember, they got so many rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. And all of them crooked. If they wasn't crooked, you wouldn't have to fight and march for civil rights. You wouldn't have to fight and march for equality. You wouldn't have to fight and march for justice. Don't you have to fight for all that? Even for a raise, you willing to work and work hard. And they don't want to pay you all each and every day. They keep raising taxes and they keep raising prices. Only a crook do that. You won't stop till you take every dime we have.
And that's the
saying, you keep him broke, you keep him under control.
Yeah. English is how they do it, and everybody will be under the spell until they get into to what's being revealed. This is a revealed book that people thought was the Quran. This is revealed book. This is a prophecy. If you get it or if you don't get it, the ones who really get it are the ones who have studied the prophecies. So as we saying, anybody who understands Allah is not with any evil whatsoever. Please, like I say, understand what you're saying. The revelation has been revealed. It's 144 ways to handle everything. And if you're not interested in reading, then you are interested in enslavement. Because Allah literally tells you, and I'm going to bring it back for verbatim, word for word, to show you how Allah feels, thinks, and be. Let it be said, Allah says that slavery is an abomination before Allah for any man or woman to enslave another, whether by bondage,
Guilty.
yeah, but
His
it's coming
sister
down.
is guilty.
Yes, whether by bondage, that's bonds.
That's bond. Come on with it.
So treasury bonds,
Yeah.
stock bonds,
Yeah.
certificate bonds, any
Yeah.
account is a bond.
Yeah.
Is a bond.
Yeah.
Any obligation. Fear.
Yeah.
Fear. And debt. Any of these four right here, Allah is extremely against, and this is called slavery. Slavery in all forms is the gravest transgression. Now we talking about someone who does not accept what's been given to him.
Yeah.
Now, if you accept what's given to you, then you accept yourself being enslaved. This is what you get for not being the truth.
Yeah.
The truth ain't never enslaved. That's why it's a symbol, a similitude to free. Let me show you how it's real. You ain't, the crackers ain't, European nation ain't paying you taxes. I'm gonna say it like that.
Yeah, nah, ain't that a kick in the head?
The old people, the old black people ain't getting taxes from old white people. Old black people are paying old white people taxes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it so clear so you get it. This time got to end and stop.
Yeah.
So you enslaved yourself because these people so-called got better ideas than you. And you thought they ice was colder than your ice.
Yeah.
And so now that you've done that, this is the result of that, because Allah is not a lie. You wish this to happen upon yourself, so this is what you get. If you did not know this in your heart and you gave yourself up to it, you have a chance to repent. This is what it's called, repent. Repent to Allah. You didn't know the Creator then. Now you know the Creator. That's against the Creator. And all forms of slavery is against the Creator. But guess what? Someone unconscious don't know that. Only people who are conscious is the people who have knowledge, full knowledge of the Al-Sufian, which has full knowledge of all. What was a mystery is not a mystery. There's no mystery in the Al-Sufian. All mysteries are answered. And so after the mystery is answered, what you do with it determines if you put yourself back into slavery. So Allah don't play any slaves or any Abdullahs. And this is why this is where I go opposite of the European nation and go to the Persian nation.
Yeah.
Who gave our people, when they come to become Islam, they give them names like Abdullah. When that's an abomination. And they know it, that's why they do it. And they give you furthermore abominations. That's why your life ain't improved, and it only got worse. Because it don't matter what you're doing. It's matter the way. If you don't know the way, it don't matter what you're doing. And this is what they have given us, everything but the way, which is a straight, narrow gate in the Bible.
Yeah.
To Allah, it's the straight path. It ain't no curves, it ain't no crooks, it ain't anything but the straight path. So we have to understand, lesser minds are controlled by stronger minds. Lesser souls are controlled by stronger souls.
That's where we at.
Allah is the greatest soul, and do not bow down to nothing. So when I'm speaking about mercy and grace, that's not bowing down. That's giving. Allah is the giver of all goodness, and that's why his name is the Great. And now that we speak about the great, can't nothing come out of great but good. So if somebody ain't talking good to you, it ain't from Allah.
Right on. And if you being fed and you drinking and eating from a evil source, then what you expect? And the source have proven to you time and time again how they feel towards you. Because anybody in their right frame of mind will not treat you and call you anything but what you truly are. And look how we've been treated. And treated today. And you can walk around here and accept that as though like it's supposed to be. No. Not me.
And so in closing, as we get ready to close at 1, see, this is what the people of America needs to know, especially the black people, because no other nationality is telling you this. You see them all the time. They'll never tell you what you need to know. Us as black folks, we suffer from other nations not telling us. But this is what you need to know. This is what your own is coming to tell you. And just like our own pre-existing came to tell us. We have to understand Allah is law. The American law, the English law do not support. They support their own because that's what they got jurisdiction over. Allah has jurisdiction over Islam. Y'all listen carefully. Allah don't have jurisdiction over Christianity. Allah don't have jurisdiction over Buddha, Hindu, or any other sect religions they have created. That was created by man. Allah only has authority over Islam. He created Islam. As-salam. Because that's where Allah is at. In As-salam. And that's literal. That is literal letter for letter truth of how we speak of where's Allah. As-salam. Every word and letter and number in Islam is mathematical eternity. Made for all people, made by niggas. For all people in the whole entire world. This is why we have to understand that no one, number 4, is above the law of Allah. Not one is above the law of Allah. So ain't no one above the law in Islam. So as long as our people disrespect Islam, like Islam didn't come to save they black ass, then you're going to stay where they keep calling you that. But Islam came to redeem self. And if you choose to be redeemed, because Allah don't force purity on anyone. If you choose to purify yourself and come to the greater self, the greater you, it's on your free will. And that's by free choice. But no, you will be bulldozed, shoved around, bullied by anything that is not of Allah. Allah don't play any of that. Everybody is equal. And if you gonna act unequal, you're gonna get unequal. And the law of Allah, respect, respect, respect. This is what the nature of animals follow. This is what the birds follow. The stars follow. The sun follow. The moon follow. They follow no order. That the law of Islam. The whole universe rose in the accordance of the law of Islam, created by its creator, Allah. So we cannot get away from astrology, astronomy, all that is in Islam. Every greatest education is in Islam. And Islam is the collective vibration of all who agree with As-Salam. And this is what we have to bring ourselves to a close. And as we close, the world is not evil, nor are people evil.
Beautiful.
We close in the name of Allah. Wadu.